My name is Allison. I'm standing in the middle of my living room, surrounded by boxes labeled with his name. The apartment is quiet, and the only sounds are the low hum of the fridge and the faint city noise seeping through the windows. It's been a while since I last felt this sense of clarity and control. A few weeks ago, I was blindsided by a turn of events that shattered the illusion of my seemingly stable relationship. I was on my way home from work, having picked up his favorite takeout from that overpriced noodle place he adores. I was hoping to mend whatever was broken between us. Little did I know that I was walking into a storm. I opened the door to find him on the couch, engrossed in his phone. The TV was on low, and the blue light flickered over his face. He didn't look up right away. "Hey," I said, setting the bags on the coffee table. "Got that noodle place you love?" He put his phone down slowly and said, "We need to talk." Those 4 words hit me like a ton of bricks. My fingers went cold, and I sat down on the armchair across from him, instinctively creating some distance. He took a long breath and said, "I think I need a break. Just some time to figure things out, clear my head." I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I tried to reason with him, telling him that we could work through whatever problems we had together. But he was insistent. He said he needed space, and he was going to stay at his friend Ethan's place. I was devastated, but I didn't want to fight. I told him that we should talk more when he was ready. He nodded, and the next morning, he left. The first week was pure hell. Every notification on my phone made my heart skip a beat, hoping it was him saying he'd made a mistake. But all I got were vague messages like, "I'm okay, just need more time." On the 12th day, he texted me asking if he could come by to grab some more clothes. I agreed, and when he arrived, I noticed the necklace around his neck. It was the same one his ex, Sophia, had given him years ago. I'd seen it in a photo he'd shown me once. I asked him about it, and he tried to brush it off, saying he'd found it while going through some old stuff at Ethan's. But I knew something was off. I pressed him for an explanation, and he got defensive. He said I wouldn't understand, that it was complicated. That's when I decided to take matters into my own hands. I logged into our shared phone plan, which I pay for, and discovered that he'd been calling and texting Sophia almost every day. It all made sense now. He hadn't needed space to think, he'd needed space to rekindle an old flame. I was furious, but I also felt a sense of clarity. I knew I couldn't let him continue to take advantage of me. I decided to renew the lease on my apartment, making sure it was only in my name. When he came over to talk, I was ready. I'd packed all his things and placed them by the door. He was shocked and confused, but I stood my ground. I told him that he'd asked for space, and I was giving it to him. I also confronted him about his relationship with Sophia, and he tried to deny it at first. But when his phone vibrated with a message from her, the truth came out. Sophia showed up at the door, and things got even more complicated. She was under the impression that they were going to move into my apartment once he and I were done. I told her the truth, that his name had never been on the lease, and she was heartbroken. She realized that he'd lied to her, just like he'd lied to me. In the end, he left with his things, and I was finally free. It was a painful experience, but it also taught me a valuable lesson. I learned that you can't build a life with someone who isn't fully committed to you. Trust, honesty, and commitment are the foundation of a healthy relationship, and he lacked all of those things. After he left, I started to reclaim my space. I rearranged the living room, painted a wall in the bedroom, and signed up for a cooking class. I also renewed my gym membership and started going regularly. I was determined to focus on myself and my own happiness. A few weeks later, I received an email from him. He apologized, saying that he'd taken me for granted and that he was sorry for hurting me. But I knew that words weren't enough. Some damage can't be undone, and I wasn't willing to give him a second chance. I deleted the email and moved on. Recently, I ran into Sophia at a coffee shop. We talked, and I realized that we'd both been through a similar experience. We bonded over our shared pain and agreed that we weren't mad at each other. It was a strange but cathartic encounter. As I look around my apartment now, I feel a sense of peace. On paper, my life still looks fine. I still have autopay set up, and the dishwasher still hums at 10:15 p.m. But there's a difference now. I'm in control of my own life, and I'm not going to let anyone take that away from me. I've learned that sometimes, the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to end a story sooner than you planned. It's not easy, but it's necessary. I deserve better than a relationship built on lies and false promises. And I'm confident that I'll find someone who will love and respect me for who I am. I lock the door behind me, and the sound is solid and final. This is my place, and I'm ready to write the next chapter of my life.